live from KTOL Tulsa. You're watching Good Day Tulsa.
After the break, we'll be joined by celebrity historian Raffi Andonian as he is going to share how realistic the Oppenheimer movie is and share more about the Manhattan Project. We'll be right back.
With the summer blockbuster movie Oppenheimer, and today on the anniversary of the Japanese announcement of surrender in World War II, we take a look at the accuracy of the movie in portraying the creation and legacy of the atomic bomb that changed world history.
Joining us to do so is celebrity historian Raffi Andonian, who used to work at the History Museum located at the birthplace of the atomic bomb and who wrote a book on the contested memories about the atomic bomb. So good morning to you, Raffi.
Thank you. Yeah, what a historic time to be here on the anniversary of the Japanese announcement, as you said.
Right, amazing.
It is amazing. And of course, everyone rushed to the theaters to see Oppenheimer. Tell me, how accurate is this movie?
Very accurate.
Okay.
I'm going to say 9 out of 10 on accuracy.
Wow. Okay.
Because while you can get caught up in some details, you know, that maybe you don't like, but they don't effectively change the story. The overall story is very accurate. From the type of leadership that General Leslie Groves and the scientist Robert Oppenheimer did for the project. A quick example of that is Oppenheimer, as a scientist, wanted to see the whole picture, right? And Groves a couple of times says he likes compartmentalization for security, because you don't want anyone to see the whole picture, because what if there's a spy there? Which, by the way, there was a spy there for the Soviet Union. That part of the movie is also accurate. They didn't, of course, know at the time, but later it came out. So that's why Groves wanted compartmentalization. But Oppenheimer is thinking, I want the scientists to ask questions, see the whole picture, and solve this problem, which is also why they achieved so much in such a short period of time. So those conflicting styles of leadership, but working together, very accurate, and the overall story as a result, very accurate.
I kind of wondered about that, because so many times in movies, even though they're historically somewhat accurate, they take a lot of artistic license to kind of, you know, do a little bit of what they want. And you said this one was amazingly accurate. So why did they choose that site to test the bomb in that middle of nowhere in New Mexico?
Yeah, I'd say it's possibly the most accurate historical film I've seen. So I agree. It is. They take some license on some minor things, but not the overall story, including the story on the site of why they chose Los Alamos, New Mexico. So there's a couple of reasons for that. One is that it's not near any major cities. So if they accidentally blow the place up, you know, remember they talk a lot about Chicago. Chicago was involved in some of the science, but that's not where they wanted to develop the bomb, because you don't want to blow up Chicago by mistake, right? Also, you're trying to keep a secret. Some of the secret got out, and there's kind of clues to that in the movie. Now, Truman, as vice president, didn't know. Then as president, when FDR died, did learn about the project. But being out in the middle of nowhere helps, because Santa Fe residents, which is not far from Los Alamos, did know something was going on. They didn't know what they're working on. But when there's thousands of people showing up to a rural plateau, you're going to notice things are going on.
All of a sudden, it's a city's lost in the middle
It's also hard to access, because it is on a plateau, which means you can control access. You see the gates and such, so that you want to be able to know who's coming in and out, so that helps. And finally, there's infrastructure up there. Now, that's one thing the movie gets a little wrong. They say it's kind of the middle of nowhere. I mean, it is rural area, but on the plateau, there was a ranch school there, which they make quick reference to, but that was actually part of the reason they went there, because there were buildings there, so they thought we can house a scientist there, about 50 buildings. Now, what they were wrong about is 50 buildings were not enough. They needed to house thousands of people, but at the time, that's what they're seeing. Is the infrastructure
it's a good place to start.
That's right. Now, it does help that Oppenheimer liked New Mexico. He did have a ranch, or his family did have a ranch nearby, not far. That's how we knew that area. And then when they toured around sites with Leslie Groves, who tried to find a site, he put that last, he said, because he was hoping that that's what they would choose, because the natural beauty of the state, he thought, would help the scientists kind of de-stress, which was true. That actually turned out to be true.
Wow, that's an interesting perspective. Let's talk about now the legacy of the atomic bomb.
The legacy of the bomb is, of course, this is what the main thing that the film deals with, and I think very accurately, very fairly, because it is something that Oppenheimer, during the war, he is all about supporting the war, and he is very pro finishing this project. You see that in a couple of different places. But after what happens, you know, obviously using the bomb, he actually starts to change a little bit, and he says, look, there's this one scene, he says, you know, we know what it's like because we're the theorists, but we have to show the other folks what it's like, because they're not going to believe it, right? You can't visualize what's possible until it actually happens, right? After that, he's hoping that there is an arms treaty or some sort of thing to help kind of avoid that and avoid war ever again. There's kind of these references to that. All that is very accurate. When he says, I have blood on my hands in the movie, that is a straight line out of Oppenheimer himself. So he was very conflicted about the legacy. You know, yes, it won the war, absolutely. The Japanese surrender announcement cited the bomb as one of the reasons for surrendering, no question about that. And it transformed world history in many ways, including, I would say, nuclear medicine, nuclear energy. It's not just about the bomb. And remember, nuclear medicine has saved many lives, right? And so it's a very complex legacy, and I love that the film gets at that, and Oppenheimer being conflicted, and also the scientists. They had different opinions too, and you see that in the film come out as well, which is valuable. So the debate was ongoing then, and of course continues to this day.
Well, it was nice that they showed the humanity side of it too.
That's right.
The guilt
That's
that
right.
he felt.
Including the humanity side. Speaking of, just real quick, the personality. Oppenheimer did drink martinis, and what's made the martini special, the Oppenheimer martini, was adding honey and lime. And this has the recipe on it. I got these from Los Alamos from my time when I worked at Los Alamos.
That's so
my book, the coasters, and the shaker. But he was someone that liked to have a good time. He was very personable, just like the movie shows, even if a bit arrogant at times.
Right. Well, Raffi, thank you so much for joining us today and giving us a wonderful history lesson.
Go see the movie.
Okay. Well, for more information on Raffi Andonian, visit celebrityhistorian.com.